Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time video, and as you can tell, I kind of switched up my scenery a bit and I'm in my living room. And I just decided to film with minimal lighting and just kind of have a chill video out in my living room instead of like in my beauty room. Sometimes it's nice just to change up the scenery, and I'm sitting on my floor, totally random, but I've been wanting to do this story time for quite some time. I knew it would make a great video for you guys, and you guys would definitely get a kick out of it. So this is going to be all about my paranormal experiences. I have been experiencing like paranormal things for a while. I just wasn't in tune with it, and I didn't really realize what was going on. So for instance, like I would be driving in my car and a song would come on, and it would be like, for instance, my uncle who passed away, one of his favorite songs. Like it would just go on to my iPod. I had it on my iPod, but it went on its own, or like my iPhone, whatever. Or like my radio would turn on, like just random things, but I would always just like have an excuse for it. Like, oh, well, technical, electrical difficulties, like it is what it is. It's not serious. So more recently in this house, I have been having a lot of weird things happening. So for instance, one thing that happened was like my radio. I had this radio in my room, and it was like an old radio. Like at least I must have had it since middle school. An alarm clock radio. Like who keeps a radio for that long? I don't know why I had it, but when we were living here, this was recently, it would like I would hear it like playing radio, like without it being turned on, and then I would get close to it and it would stop playing. And I'm like, okay, it's old. There's something like wrong with the electrical part of it. Like there's just something wrong. Like it is what it is. And then I remember the same day, this was a few weeks ago, about a month ago, I remember the same day that I heard the radio during the day. It must have been like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it stopped, and I'm like, okay, this is like happening way too much. Like, why is this happening? So I made sure that it was switched to off and that like there would be no issues. Later that night, I got into bed around 8 o'clock, and I was just sipping on my tea on the computer with my dog, and I heard the radio. And I'm like, what the hell? And I got closer, and it got louder, and it was switched on. Obviously, I know for a fact that it was off because I had double checked it that day, and then that night it was like switched on, but it was off before because I pushed it to off. It was already off that same day, but I pushed it harder. I was like, all right, it's got to be off so I don't have to hear this radio anymore, and it was switched on. So that was really weird. This happened all within like the same week. So a few days later, me and Adam had a bottle of champagne from our anniversary. So what I did was had it on our anniversary, and I like closed, well, Adam put the cork back in it. And a couple of days later, was trying to have a bottle of champagne, or the champagne that we had. I was trying to have it for dinner with my dinner. And Adam wasn't home, and I couldn't get the damn bottle to open. Like I couldn't get the cork off of it, and I was like, whatever, I guess I'm not gonna have wine. The next morning, the cork was like out of the champagne bottle, and it looked like some of the champagne had been drank. Like someone had some of it, like somebody drank from it. So I called Adam to see if like maybe he had opened it, and he returned my call within like 5 minutes because he was at work. He's like, I didn't touch it. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, please tell me the truth, because like I don't want to be messed with like this. Like, did you or did you not? He's like, I did not take the cork off the bottle of champagne. Okay, so who did? And why is there some missing? Like, if you're playing a joke on me, yeah, that was really strange, because whoever opened it must have saw me struggling with it, and they like opened it. It was so weird. And then the next thing that happened that was really weird was my dog Roscoe. We put him in the spare bedroom. He has his own bedroom in there because we try to keep him and Coco, my other dog, She's on the couch right now. I have a French bulldog and a bulldog, and about a couple months ago in December, they had gotten into a fight over a toy, and Coco is missing an eye, long story short, because Roscoe was fighting with her, and he's obviously a lot bigger than her and took her eye out. So when we're not home, we keep them separated, so he stays in that room. Or if they start fighting, or if they're like, if Coco's like moody and she's not in the mood to deal with him, I put him away, and that's just like his own space. He's got his hand bone in there, he's got his toys, so it's like his time to be away from her and her time to be away from him so they don't fight. So nonetheless, he had been, that whole week that things were happening, he had been crying in there, like hated being in that room. And I'm like, what is this problem? And Adam would joke and be like, oh, there must be a ghost in there. And I'm like, I don't know, he hates it. Like, he would whine, scratch at the door, like, let me out, and as soon as you'd open the door, he'd bolt right out. It was just the strangest thing. So one day he was crying, and I'm like, Roscoe, please stop crying. I was like on the computer, probably like making a grocery list or something like that. I was like, Roscoe, please stop crying. Like, come on, get it together. Like, I have shit I have to do. Like, stop crying and distracting me. And then all of a sudden, I hear a sound, and it almost sounds like furniture's moving, and Roscoe just starts crying. So I'm like, oh my God, like, obviously I'm like, did he, like, what is going on? Did he move something? Like, what the hell? It was loud as hell. I opened the door, and the dresser to the left is this huge, heavy bureau. It is literally pushed out slightly, but enough for me to notice. Roscoe obviously bolted right out and went right to the couch, but the freaking dresser, and this dresser is like this massive, heavy wooden dresser, was literally moved, like askew. And that's exactly what I heard. And obviously Roscoe, like, it was against the wall. Like, obviously Roscoe couldn't get behind it to push it, and he just wouldn't have pushed it out. Like, it doesn't make any sense that he would have done it. So that was really, really, really strange. In the past, I have gone to one psychic, and she wasn't a medium, she was just a psychic that saw the future, and she had told me that I have a heavy male presence, like it's very strong, not heavy as in like weight, but like heavy as in like strong. Like a strong male presence is following me, and he's pushing me, and he sees that, you know, I'm struggling with my anxiety, depression, whatever the case may be, but he's just like, go Mariah, get to it, like get what you need to get done. Like, he's pushing and motivating me. And, you know, when I heard that, I was like my Uncle Chris, because he would be that kind of person to just push and motivate and support, and he would hate to see me not living my true potential or whatever the case may be. So when that had happened, Coco, the dog's looking over there, it's like creeping me out. So when that had happened, I immediately thought of my uncle. So when all this stuff went down of like the champagne bottle being open, the radio turning on, and, you know, my dresser being moved, I called a medium. I forget her name, and she picked up the phone, and we were talking. I'm like, yeah, there's just like a lot of strange things happening in my house. Would you like to come and like investigate? Because it's like just weird, and I don't know what's going on. So she had mentioned, you know, I right now talking to you on the phone can feel a strong male presence. Same exact words as the other psychic, and these two people don't know each other. They're from here and there, if that makes sense. And I was like, oh God. And she's like, did your father have a brother who passed over, your uncle? This woman don't know me. I didn't even tell her my name. We were on the phone, and I was like, oh my God. Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, what? She could have said my mother's brother or my great-grandfather or someone like random, but she literally like hit the nail on the head and got it right. And she didn't know my name. It's not like she could have typed it online and figured it out in that short amount of time. This was like a 2-minute phone call. So I was like, oh my God, you have to come to my house. I ended up making an appointment for her to come to my house and like figure out what's going on. But I did cancel it because I don't know, like after that phone call, things got really quiet here. Like nothing was happening. So I just was like, okay, like if it's my uncle, like there is things I definitely would like to say to him, but it can wait. Like I don't have to have somebody here right now, and I can go see them or whatever. So I don't know, I might go to like a medium down the road. I don't know. Mediums can speak to the dead, so it's a little bit scary and sketchy to me, whereas a psychic is just like all about your future and they can sense if someone's there, but they don't delve into that. That's kind of sketchy to me. So she never came, but yeah, I mean, who knows? If it's my uncle, he's more than welcomed here. He's an amazing, amazing person, and I miss him so much. And, you know, if he's watching over me, then that makes me happy, and that makes me feel secure knowing that he's protecting me. But yeah, that is my paranormal experiences. It's not too crazy. Some people have some really crazy stories, but it's just my experiences. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.